Hello everyone. Welcome to Bookworm World, where I discuss any and all thing books. As 2025 begins, I thought I could review the best and worst books I have read in 2024. I'll start from the worst books up to the best ones. So, let's begin. Number 12. One Night at the Call Center. Okay, I know a lot of people love Chetan Bhagat's book, but this was just not it for me. Let's start with the good points, which are few. I like that all the characters had some issue. By that, I mean they weren't just there to help the main character, but they were real characters. Now, over to the things I didn't like. First, not enough attention was put on the side characters. They had so many interesting subplots going on, but there was just no attention put on them at all. I understand the focus needs to be on the main character, but couldn't Chetan Bhagat have dedicated a few pages to the other characters? Also, the conclusion of this book is just crazy. I don't think I can properly explain it, so I recommend you just read the last two pages. Number 12, Bridge to Terabithia. This is a spoiler, but it's so well known that it practically isn't. I didn't feel sad when Leslie Burke dies in Bridge to Terabithia. I don't know why, but it was so boring. The entire book is boring. Since I already knew from the acknowledgements and from all the reviews that someone was going to die. Sorry, but I don't see why so many people love this book. It's just someone dies and then yes. Anyways, moving on to number 10, The Immortals of Meluha. This book has an interesting premise and main character, but bad writing. I'm sorry to say, but the writing sounds very immature. The main character, Shiva, is interesting, but none of the secondary characters are developed enough, and I didn't care about them. And I didn't care about them. This took away from my enjoyment of this book because a story is not good if the reader only finds one character interesting. Number 9, Iron Widow. There were definitely good things, but the bad far overshadowed the good. Reading this book was like eating a tomato soup with small rocks inside. The first and second bite is good. The third bite is a bit weird. The fourth bite is a rock. Let me start with the good. The secondary characters were good, especially I think you pronounce it Yizzy and Lee Shimin. Now, the bad. The world building was too fast paced for me, and I was confused until like more than halfway through the book. The main character is extremely violent, and I disliked her more and more as the book went on. I heard that the second book in this series is focused less on violence and more on the main character developing. So I am curious, so I will be reading that. But for me, Iron Widow was one of the worst reads of the year. Number 8, Marcy's Journal. Fun fact, I read this book in a day. I know this book is around 170 pages, so it's extremely short, but this is the only book I have read in like such a short amount of time. That's because my exam was the day after, and I will do anything except study. Now, about this book. Marcy is my favorite character in the Amphibia series. So obviously I like this book. I love the little doodles they made in the corner of the pages. It makes it look like a real journal owned by a real person. And despite being named Marcy's journal, a character named Anne also writes in it towards the end of the story. But Marcy's writing and Anne's writing feels very different, which was great. Now, number 7, Daughter of the Deep. I have read the first two books of Percy Jackson, and I was expecting a similar tone with this book. Rick Riordan is known for books with scenes that make others laugh out loud, and Daughter of Deep was not that. But I still liked it a lot, even though I didn't expect it. The characters all feel real, especially Anna Darker. I liked how Rick Riordan connected 2000 Leagues Under the Sea to the main story in a way that doesn't feel disjointed and like it could actually happen. And this is a bit of a spoiler, so skip it if you don't want to see any spoilers. But the twist with Anna Darko's brother is amazing. Number 6, The Secret Keepers. This book has a mostly simple plot, but great writing. All of the characters are different and have different motivations for doing the things they do. My favorite character is Penny Meyer, the daughter of the local lighthouse keeper who Reuben meets on his journey. Number 5, The Village by the Sea. The way Anita Desai describes things in this book is wonderful. Even though this book doesn't have a do this or the entire world will be destroyed kind of plot, I still liked it. Sometimes simple stories are good too. But in the end, when Hari and Leela's family issues are suddenly fixed, that felt a bit rushed. The whole book felt a bit rushed. If the book had been maybe 15 pages longer, 15 or 20 pages longer, the characters could have been more fleshed out and the family could solve all their problems properly. Number 4, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I loved this book. There are so many plot twists and turns that the book never feels boring. This book keeps you guessing until the very end, sometimes tricking you into thinking the mystery is solved and then giving you a piece of evidence that proves it hasn't been solved fully yet. It was just amazing. The only thing I somewhat disliked about it is that there were too many characters and it was hard to keep track of them all. I don't really care about Pip's brother and best friend, except Kara because she's relevant to the plot. But maybe these characters will be more important in the sequel. Overall, it's a great book, and I highly recommend it to any fans of mystery, murder mysteries. Like, it's amazing. Now, the next book is 12 and the Frozen Forest. I'm surprised at how underrated this book is because it's really good. Let me start with the very few things I disliked about it. Actually, it's not even that I disliked it, these are just like tiny nitpicks. In this book, all the main characters have numbers assigned to them as their names. For example, the main character is named 12. I found that a bit awkward at first. Like, I was like, am I reading a story or am I reading my maths textbook? But I slowly got used to it as the book progressed. Now, the good. I love the world building in this book. It is both simple and interesting. The characters are realistic and very different from each other. Their dialogue is fun to read about, especially when they argue. Overall, this book is very good. Now, next is The Wager. I was surprised at how much I liked The Wager because it is a non fiction book, which is not a genre I read often. But this was as interesting, if not more interesting, than any fantasy book. I love David Grant's writing in this book. I'll have to check out more of his books. I feel that the author did a great job of introducing all the characters slowly, so they remain with the reader even after the story. I'm usually terrible with names, in real life and in books, but the pacing is slow enough that I remember them all. The only thing that makes the story less than perfect is that David Grant tends to get lost a bit, if that makes sense. By that, I mean he goes on mostly unrelated tangents, which are fun to read, don't get me wrong, but distract from the main story. I think there was a whole paragraph about an albatross somewhere in this book. A whole paragraph about a bird that doesn't even matter to the story. In short, I would recommend this book. to people that don't mind waiting a bit before the book gets really good and like learning about history, and people who don't mind long paragraphs about unrelated things. Now, my favorite book of 2024 is Circe by Madeline Miller. Including this book in this list technically might be cheating because I first read it in 2022, but I reread it again this year and just wow, it is one of the best, if not the best book I have ever read. Madeline Miller, Madeline, sorry, Madeline Miller has a certain way of mixing so many different characters and stories together that somehow isn't overwhelming. Her prose is just wonderful. I do not think I can like give this book justice in my words. So I'm just going to include a few lines I liked, and I recommend you all to please read this book. It's amazing. Now, the lines I liked were: I thought once that gods are the opposite of death, but I see now they are more dead than anything, for they are unchanging and can hold nothing in their hands. I thought I cannot bear this world a moment longer. Then, child, make another. And that is the end of this 2024 book review. I hope you all enjoyed this, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you.